Grant and Nick, let's dive into our guns. What can we expect from our manufacturers this time around?
Are there guns in this game?
What?
There's a few.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
They're just a little bit.
Two hands this time, yeah.
We have 5 returning favorite manufacturers, the Jacobs, Maliwan, Vladoff, Tediore, and Torg. Those are our 5 returning favorites. And then we have 3 brand new ones, the Ripper, Daedalus, and Order.
Yeah, and we also have ones that are parts only, right? I mean, we got the Hyperion with the shields, COV, so you can make any gun into a heat gun, and then Atlas, so you can, shoot that sweet tracking dart and go blasting, right?
Yes, there's nothing more satisfying than a homing Torg assault rifle.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And let's
pretty
be
good.
honest, Hyperion guns are only useful for the shield. So
Yeah.
I want my shield.
They
on
make
my,
good parts.
I want
Yeah.
my shield on my Maliwan elemental gun. That's what I want.
April, this is a community question. They're asking where Dahl is.
So Kairos has been locked off for like thousands and thousands and thousands of like Earth years, right? So nothing really gets in and out with ease. So they're sort of at the mercy of what ship crashed and what parts might be available. So Borderlands is a big, massive universe, so I promise you we probably haven't seen the last of Dahl. But I will say, just enough Dahl parts did fall. Echo 4 is Dahl. So, hey, we gave you a little sweet Dahl Echo buddy, so.
Grant, how do the licensed parts work? This could also be a community question. I've seen a lot of people asking like what agency they have with that system.
Yeah, so licensed parts are our way of describing behaviors from all the manufacturers that we love from Borderlands 3 and the ones that we've added in Borderlands 4. So because there are so many behaviors in the game now, we wanted to make sure that guns drop these behaviors in a kind of tiered fashion. There's no crafting in the game. Players can't modify or craft their guns to have specific licensed parts. They're just drops in the world, and the way they drop is on a tiered system. So from common all the way to legendary, there's different sets of behaviors you can get. Epics having the most behaviors, and legendaries having one less behavior, but having their own unique behavior.
And can every gun have a Tediore part that lets you throw it?
Every gun can have a Tediore part that could be thrown.
And most guns have something called an underbarrel. This is not something new to the series, but we're leaning into it pretty heavily in this game.
Yeah,
Can you give us some examples?
Yeah, one of the favorite things from Borderlands 3 was adding underbarrels to a lot of our manufacturers. This time around, we're taking it up a notch. Vladoff, again, has like the micro rockets, but that technology has now been licensed by other manufacturers too, so that you can have versions of micro rockets, such as the Jacobs having a micro rocket knife that is attached to the underbarrel of their gun, and they can fire it and it does an exploding shot. This can be coupled with other licensed part behaviors like a TDR thing, so when you throw a Jacobs gun with an underbarrel Vladoff, it'll have shooting micro rockets while flying in the air.
That's just awesome.
Yeah.
Grant, let's go into enhancements. That's another thing. Like you're going to be kind of want to round up, specific manufacturers.
Enhancements, they come back in the form. They were called artifacts in BL3, and we're calling them enhancements in BL4. They're a way to modify the play style. So if you really favor a manufacturer like Jacobs and you want to have that crit behavior that kind of ricochets the bullet, you can have that on another gun that has a Jacobs license part with the Jacobs enhancement, so that now a Torg with a Jacobs license part can now ricochet their sticky gyrojets on other targets.
And our eagle-eyed community saw something that looks like set bonuses. There's airstrike there. What is that?
Yeah, so for the first time ever, we're adding firmware, which is our end-game system, and it's one of our end-game systems to help boost the power of the gear. And as you can see in this screenshot, there's 3 parts to it, and if you can get all 3 parts, you get a big damage or utility increase.
That sounds like gears, like sets to me. That sounds, yeah.
Might be.
Might be.
Yeah.
Previously, heavy weapons took up a gear slot, but this has been changed in BL4. How much variety will players find in this new system?
Ordnance is our new revamped slot for grenades and heavy weapons. We no longer want players to kind of hold on to rocket ammo and wait till like one encounter and just pull out their big rocket launcher. Now players can use their heavy weapon, which is on the cooldown, and we can balance that accordingly so that big moments where they want to pull out a big laser beam or rocket launcher or chain gun, they can use it and mow down enemies and don't feel like they have to hoard that ammo or have to go find that ammo to go be able to use it. And in addition, we wanted to make sure that grenades kept their massive impact that they had in previous Borderlands games, but without being able to spam them constantly so that we had to balance them down to be really low damage or something like that. So now you can literally throw nuclear bombs with different behaviors because, again, they can have licensed parts too. So you can have like an artillery grenade that summons like a giant nuclear bomb. So
Also on cooldowns.
Also on cooldowns.
Yeah, so that's a big shift.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is another question from the community. How will shields and grenades work?
So grenades I just explained, but shields we're also amping them up too. We're adding a new shield type called armor, and that's a more offensive-focused shield type. We wanted to promote that kind of offensive gameplay. So if you're running and gunning and jumping into combat, your armor shield has a chance of regenerating in combat, so that you can be more offensively focused.